Call of Duty, World at War. World at War, without a doubt, has my favourite soundtrack in any game ever made. Just everything about the soundtrack I just completely adore. Every single mission in the game has just a fantastic song that accompanies it. It's like each song in this game is like a final, piece. It's like a triumphant piece from any other game. I just adore the soundtrack. The Russian music as well. Like, although I personally preferred the Pacific Theater in World at War, I also have to admit that the Russian theater had the best music. All the music's just fantastic, and it all seems to stem from the same sort of dude. It has the same sort of inspiration, right? They're all inspired from the same person. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, all of the Russian music, especially the music that plays during the Siege of Berlin, and the Russian theme in World at War, all seems to be inspired by Prokofiev, one of the great classical musicians, who, was quite eccentric. He's quite the person. I believe he was a very hard pro-Stalin Russian musician, right? And his music's quite terrifying, to be honest. He did a piece with like something like a bunch of dozens of AKs, machine guns in it. His music all has this same incredibly terrifying sound to it. The lyrics don't really sort of match it too. It's all about dissembling and destroying the bourgeoisie and stuff like that, destroying the enemy, installing Russian nationalism across the world and all that. And you can still feel it with the Russian theater music, and it's honestly fantastic. Now, probably my favourite mission in World at War in terms of its presentation is the Siege of Berlin, where you go and attack the Russian capital. It's the one but last mission, and oh boy, it's fantastic. The way the music swells, the way the music actually plays off of the actual, mission. In fact, the final scene in the entire game, where your boy Vladimir just got stabbed by a machete, and Reznov just saved you, and you go to put, Dmitri, you go to put the flag on top of the, what's it called, the Russian flag, right? It's on top of the Berlin office building, I forgot what it's called. And oh boy, the way the music swells, the way the music plays. I believe there's actually silence for a bit. And oh, everything about it. Reznov's voice is there. Just everything about the soundtrack in this game is amazing. And it ain't just the Russian theater that has fantastic music. It's just that overall, I think it has the better tracks. But the Japanese, Pacific theater also has some great music as well. I think that overall, this game is perfectly well-rounded in terms of music. It's just there's one or two missions in the Eastern Front that are better for music, one or two missions in the Pacific Theater in terms of gameplay. But overall, the music in World at War is just extraordinary. For me, it just excels in a position that Call of Duty doesn't necessarily normally excel at. And this is really Treyarch at their prime. For World at War, Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 to an extent, they knocked out the park for music. In fact, Black Ops 3 and 4 also have some great bangers in it too. They got Kevin Sherwood doing all the zombies music, and he, without doubt, is a genius. And I just gotta say that everyone who worked on the music for World at War and Black Ops 1, all of you, well done. You created some of the greatest music I've ever heard in a game. World at War is, without doubt, my favourite game of all time, and the music in it really does, add to that. I can't believe that this game has such good music. It's actually quite, startling, and again, some dissonance with the franchise. Hearing the music from Modern Warfare, Modern Warfare 2, and then hearing the music from World at War, it just blows me away every time I hear any song for it. It's always on my playlist when I walk to school. I always listen to World at War music when I draw. It's just phenomenal. So if you've never played World at War, although I do implore you that you should play it, but I think just so you can understand my overall thoughts and understand how incredible the music of World at War is, you should at least watch the playlist on YouTube. There's a playlist where it plays all the music missions from World at War in the row that they appear in the game, and I'll link that playlist in the description below. I just really wanted to just convey to you how great and how much I love the music in World at War. I hope you all able to understand why World at War and why it's my favorite soundtrack in anything ever. And I forgot to mention this, but I'll quickly mention now. But the zombies music. Zombies, like the Rukt, Shinonuma, and the Riser Easter egg music. I can't. It's just too much. It's so good. But yeah, overall, that's my opinions on World at War. OST, my favorite OST ever in the game. I might do a more of a musical analysis later on of particular tracks, because I did get a B in GCSE music. But never mind that. This has just been my thoughts on the World of War's music, how incredible it is. I'd like to thank everyone who worked on it, Dice, for this music, for creating something. Like, literally, it's greater than most classical music I ever heard. So thank you everyone at Dice if you worked on it. Sorry, not Dice. Thank you everyone who worked on this at Treyarch. Thank you everyone who's watched this video. It's been your homie, Heft.